Hey, it's Paul Jang, and today we're going to be talking about investing in land, the pros and cons, and the real off-the-record stories about land investing. Here's the first story, and one that could happen a lot, right? So we had 5 deals that we sent to a title company, and basically the title company, what they do is they basically close the property for us. They figure out if the owner is who they say they are, check to make sure that mortgages, liens, all that is cleared up, and have all the paperwork ready for us to close on it. We wire them the funds, and then they close on the property on the other side, record the deed and all that. So we sent this title company 5 deals, right? I'll just tell you what happened. The first deal, what happened is the person that was selling the land to us, the father apparently sold it, and the daughter who was selling it to us had no clue that she, when she was trying to sell it to us. So basically she was selling land to us that she didn't own, right? And so when we were going through the process, that's basically a wash. She doesn't, own the property. The person that owned the land started getting upset with us, like, why are you, you're trying to buy and sell this land, because I own it, I'm not selling it. So it was just a mess. That was our first deal out of the 5 deals that we sent. The second and third deals, it went through, we got the properties, and they became nice profitable deals. I feel like that's kind of the boring stuff, right? So we got, out of the 5 deals that we sent, we got 2 that made it through. The fourth deal, what happened was that the land was in a trust, and apparently they sold it to another person, and they were trying to sell it again to us. So whether they knew that on purpose or whether that's shady stuff going on, right? So that's the first deal and the fourth deal kind of happened similarly, right? You just want to cover your bases whenever you're doing land investing, whenever you're doing real estate sales. You want to cover your butt. Either you are closing the property and you understand the process, or you're hiring a title attorney, title company or an attorney to do this background stuff for you, so you're not surprised at the end, right? You need to give them a bunch of cash, and you're left hanging. Our fifth deal. After 2 months going through the closing process, we're about to close with them. The owner decided to sell it to his stepson, who found out he was selling the property. So we had a deal in place, and we technically could have gone to an attorney and kind of forced the contract on them, but then we just kind of decided to let it go and just move on. So those kind of things happen whenever you're doing land investing or owner to owner real estate transactions, especially with land, because whenever we're talking about houses and stuff, there's almost always a title company or an attorney doing the closings. There's multiple parties like realtors that have disclosures in place for all these things to be kind of sorted out. There's home inspections done, usually with with a house, there's a mortgage in place, so they want an appraisal done. They also want the survey done, and there's multiple checkpoints with this. With houses or commercial properties. With land, it's not really like that, because we're talking usually at a smaller price point. So realtors generally aren't involved as much. There might be a title company or attorney if you as the land investor or the buyer seller kind of on the other side of the transaction kind of forces the issue and wants that for them. But there's a lot of just deals kind of happening, and you really have to do your due diligence whenever you're going through this process. And you have to have multiple deals in place so that if something falls through, some of your other deals will go through and you will make a nice profit. The second story that we're going to be talking about is something that we get a lot. We usually send out blind offers to people. So what that means is we'll offer to buy property at steep discounts. And for some people, they get very emotional about their property. They'll, send out replies through our voicemail, or send actual letters back to us, with rather unpleasant things. And, that will just kind of leave off to the side. Now, these are some of the final thoughts that I've had to it. In the beginning, I used to kind of feel offended or, upset by this, because there's other people that are glad, for, us to reach out to them and, buy their land from them, right? But I just kind of found that the best way to resolve that is just not respond to those, emotional responses, and just keep moving, because, we're basically digging for gold. We're kind of digging to find the deals and to meet up with the people that, want to do business with us, and, just wants to get rid of their land, right? That's basically it, and get some cash on the side. Because the reality is like, we buy land, 25 cents, 30 cents on the dollar, usually, right? It might go a little bit more, if there's some some negotiating or something like that. But for the most part, we're buying them on steep discounts. And I don't mind telling people, because, the way we're selling them, yeah, we might sell it for cash, but, generally we'll also look to sell it with owner financing. They can't go to a realtor and give their, 20,000 valued land to a realtor to sell it, and the realtor to do a good job for it, right? If you're gonna pay a realtor, they're not gonna go for a 3% commission, 6% commission, right? That's not very much money at all. And if you just put it on the MLS, multiple listing service that realtors use, that land might stay on the MLS for a year, 2 years. They might just never sell it. And they'll pay property taxes and have to worry about it, talk to the realtor and stuff. It's like most realtors will not deal with land, especially at the lower price points. So you're kind of a middle point here where, you're helping people that don't really have an option to, find a place to sell their land. Most people don't know how to do self closings. A title company will take $1,500 right off the bat, 2 sides of the transaction if you do it that way, or attorney might be even more, especially if there's some kind of probate issue or, some error issue. Like one deal that I paid $3,800. It was supposed to be a $5,000 lot that I ended up paying $8,800 for, so $3,800 more than I expected to, because of probate stuff. Now it works out okay in the long run, because we're still able to find deals and we're able to profit off of them, and we're buying them cheap enough. But that's a hassle for a large majority of people, right? When I went to the attorney, they didn't give me a straight answer and just was like, hey, it's gonna cost $3,800. If they told me that, I would probably just said, hey, I'm not gonna deal with the hassle, I'll just move on. They gave me an approximate, but it's like some of those costs came up. And if you don't have that cash up front, some of these landowners don't have that cash up front. Basically, there's no real solutions for them, right? They could just hold on to the property indefinitely. And if they're not really doing anything with it, it just means property taxes. That's what that means. So those are just some of my thoughts with all this. You'll get unpleasant responses, especially if you are trying to find, deals discounted property, unless you're just gonna go into tax auctions all the time. In that case, you're gonna have to go to the county for the most part, go through the auction, that process, and pick a property that way, which is cool. You can make money that way, but I just prefer sending out mailers from my house and kind of be done with it. Third story, right? So I'm gonna give multiple stories. I think I got 3 more, and then some of the pros and cons, right? So I'm showing you a lot of the cons right now. The third one is gonna be a pro, right? So we were going out for some land, and there was a log cabin on the property. So we offered $18,000 for 13 acres of land. This was in Oklahoma, and she wanted $22,000. and said, hey, you know, I want $22,000, but hey, there's a cabin on it. And I was like, a cabin? Okay, like that's kind of cool. And what happened was she wanted to use that money to pay for her granddaughter's college. And so I was like, oh yeah, like that's cool. Yeah, like we'll pick it up for, you know, 22,000. So it's an extra 4,000. But I figured, hey, there's like room here and there's a cabin on it. That's cool. She said it was a 4-bedroom cabin and that she wasn't on the property for like years, right? So we bought the property in 2.5 months, and it took quite a bit of time for the title company to close because there were a lot of like real estate transactions, and everything was like backed up. But we later just sold that property for $50,000, and I just thought like, hey, you know, that was pretty sweet, you know. Like I'm gonna choose a quicker title company next time, but you know, that was a nice cash deal, right? Like that was also the property that I'll never go see land, right? Like I do it just from home, that's it. But this property, like because of the log cabin, we had way too many people asking like for pictures about the cabin and stuff. I was buying it, you know, mainly for the land, just the land value, but you know, people wanted to see the cabin, and after the pictures, it sold real quickly. Okay, number 4, our fourth story is in the beginning, we did a lot of like cheaper deals, picking up property for $100, $200, $300, and basically we started doing a lot of deals in a particular county, and the county clerk started recognizing our name. Because we would call them and ask them different questions. We'd send them a bunch of deals to get recording. The county clerks is the place where they record deeds. So whenever you do a real estate transaction, let's say for a house, the information, the legal information of who owns the house is on a deed, and they record it with the county. So if you have a mortgage, it's also recorded with the county, so that, you know, there's no, you know, funny business. But basically we started sending a bunch of deals to them, and they started recognizing us, and we became friendly with them, right? And so what happened was, you know, if you go to your county clerks, you'll find people that go to the county clerk's office and ask like, hey, can you just take this property? And so they actually sent us deals over time, right? She referred us leads, right? This is like the government. And so we actually got those parcels of land for free. It's not just one, like multiple deals. Like I remember before I got into land investing, I got into land investing in 2018, 2017. So a couple of years from the time of this video. And even before then, this is like 4 or 5 years, I went to my county. I'm in San Antonio. So I went to my county, and I was just talking to the county clerk's office over there, you know, for like real estate stuff. He was like telling me, yeah, man, like, you know, I get like different people like coming over, like wanting to like get rid of their house because, you know, they want to stop paying their mortgage payments and, you know, stop paying their property taxes and all that. And they'll just come here and be like, yeah, like, can you county, like, I don't want this property anymore. Can you just take it? And you know, the county doesn't have like a donation plan, and so like what he'll do is like he has a couple contacts for, you know, different real estate investors, and he'll call them out and give them that lead, and ultimately that real estate, you know, investor like makes a bunch of money off of that, right? That relationship with that county clerk. If you've been around the real estate industry enough and have, you know, personal relationships with different people, like they will like work with you, right? So I mean, it's just cool because, you know, the government will send deals over to you because, you know, you're filling in a niche there, you're filling in a need there, and the county clerk wants to be helpful too. So it's kind of like a win-win, right? A free deal for me, and you know, we help out the county clerk because here's the thing, right? If they decide that they're not going to pay their property tax, if they stop making their payments, the county's not going to get property taxes. If they don't get their property taxes, their overall revenue goes down. And so like then the property has to go through a tax auction, and they sell, you know, the property, if it's a tax deed state or a tax lien state, essentially sell the rights to the property, right, or the lien to investors, right, who will ultimately pay the county property taxes, right? So the government's happy. And then, you know, if you're, you know, purchasing it from someone that really doesn't want their property, like that person's happy, and you're happy because you made money. Okay, so everyone's happy. Our fifth story is we bought 10 acres of land for $2,000. And this is kind of like one of the stories that kind of really got me going with like owner financing. We basically bought the land for $2,000, 10 acres, and then we basically sold it and got the down payment to be $2,000. So what happens is I forked over $2,000, and then when I sold it, so then I bought the property. When I sold it, I got the down payment to be $2,000, so I got my money back right away. And then they made an extra $7,000 in monthly payments over like 5 years. And I was able to also get like interest on that. That's pretty nice, right? Like if you do like 7% on like, you know, 7,000 or something like that, like that's a sizable amount of money. And there's some land investors that charge like 10, 11, 12%. I think that's like a bit extreme, but like they'll do that. So here are my final thoughts. Like whenever you're doing like owner finance deals, you're able to get the principal payments. You're also able to get the interest, but a third thing you're also able to get is like maintenance fees. So it's like whenever you're the bank, like you get multiple like little, you know, income streams right in there, right? So like this channel's like about building multiple streams of income. So like if that's like you, if you're interested in that kind of stuff, like building multiple streams of income, like subscribe and like this video. It helps us out with the YouTube algorithm, and I'd appreciate it. But here are the cons with land investing from these stories, right? Like deals can fall apart. Like people can get emotional or be rude, right? But here are the pros of land investing, right? You can make solid cash deals, right? Like you could buy a piece of land and sell it for, you know, $10, $20, $30,000. You could build like really good relationships with people that give you even better deals, right? Like we got free land. That's pretty gold, right? That's pretty good. And you could basically roll your money, right, over and over again with these cash deals and these owner finance deals. Those are like the pros of like land investing. So if you like those stories, if you liked some of the content that I gave you, subscribe and like this video. I'd appreciate it. And if you have any questions, put them in the comment section. I'll try getting back to you on those, and any future videos you might want to see, put them in. This channel is about building multiple streams of income. If you're interested in that, subscribe and like this video. Have a good one. Take care.